He's like, oh, I have a list of items that I would like for my birthday. You can just pick from this list. And he's like, why don't you give me a list also or show me your list? But to me, I was like, that's so unromantic.
Oh, right.
I'm like, okay, but how about this year you try something different? You think about what I want. Then I can see him stressed. He's like, oh my god, I don't know. He's
Okay,
like
I'm gonna back him up here.
Why? Okay, tell me. Hey, it's Sonia. Welcome to another episode of Men Explain. Today, we're going straight to it. Are men too logical and unromantic, or are they simply not putting in enough effort? I've got a couple here with me here today. Please introduce yourselves, you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Fabian. This is my wife. We just got married and we're expecting a child.
I'm Deborah, in case you forgot my name.
I thought I'm introducing myself and then you introduce yourself.
Exactly.
So you're going to introduce both of us.
I mean, look, you guys, people might have already seen you on social media, on TikTok, on all these places. So how has that sort of changed your relationship so far? I mean, you started off with being very open about your relationship. Not everyone is okay with that, but you guys were, and it was a hit.
Funny story is that when we first started TikTok, right?
Yeah.
My videos would not show her face.
They will show like they will hide and then my face will not be shown.
This one's soft launching, no?
Yeah. I was like,
No,
I
it's
better not
because-
show my face later I break up with you, awkward.
Yeah. So her logic is like, if she breaks up with me, I can still find someone with the same
Yeah,
body.
just find the same
Oh my
body
God.
and then you can replace me and stuff,
Obviously, it's
do
a long
auditions.
joke, but
Okay,
it worked out. And then we started to show ourselves on social media.
More and more.
Yeah, we did not expect to blow up. It was during the lockdown and we had nothing to do.
Right.
And we just started creating like couple comedy and like pranking each other.
But it started from him. He had like a lot of strange ideas. He's like, oh, I want to do this idea. Yeah, I want to do that idea, for like my 23 followers. I was like, let's do those fun stuff with nothing to do at
Hey,
home.
don't attack my 23 followers.
I was like,
You were
okay,
there
yeah,
in
let's
the
do
were
that.
there from
beginning,
the start.
supporting you.
Yeah.
So you guys complement each other somehow.
I
in
feel
that
so
sense.
really.
And the
yeah.
weird part is that we have so little in common when we first started dating. Like
Wait,
really.
tell me more about
So
that.
like I like gaming, I like anime, I like weeby stuff.
Yeah.
But she's the complete opposite. So like movies that I like to watch, like Lord of the Rings, she does not
Oh my
like
god,
it.
I can't follow Lord of the Rings.
I
It's
tried,
just too much.
Like I really tried, and he made me watch anime, and I want
You
to say
tried
I
also.
really tried.
She tried.
Throughout the whole first episode, I'm like, why does she suddenly have fangs? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah, so like we had so little in common, but the beauty of it that when we first started dating, like her concern was like, do you think like we have very little in common? Is that going to be like a factor? I'm like, actually, it makes sense because now you got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And it's always like you always get to do something new.
It's always a different experience.
Correct. Her
Yeah.
interest, I need to learn. My interest, she learns, and it's like something new you're always introducing to the relationship.
It does compliment me a lot. Like I'm very logical. A
That's
bit more
interesting because we're
pessimistic.
talking about whether men are more logical today.
Like more pessimistic. He's like a dreamer,
Yeah,
He's very
I am.
optimistic.
What's your horoscope?
Aquarius.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And
I'm
you
Scorpio.
are? Scorpio. Ooh,
So we are
dangerous.
very very.
Yeah, I'm always
sometimes
like
a bit
flying up. I'm like,
psychotic,
babe, why not we do this? And she's like pulling me. No, be real.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you're talking about your early courtship days, tell me, how did he romance you to convince you that, hey, this could be something I want to work at, since you had not so much in common in the beginning?
I think for me, I'm a very guarded person.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, is it trauma or what? But yeah, I was a
That's
very-
another episode for another day.
But I was like a really guarded person. So I'm someone who I realize like don't lay my cards on the table
Right.
until I'm clear like what the other person wants. So I feel like the best thing he did in the beginning of our courtship is he's just such a, they say like golden retriever energy.
Yes.
Like he's just so like, he's so straightforward. He's so confident in his feelings. So he's always just like, yeah, I like you. I want to date you. Yeah, and this one I do. Like there's no
I was straight. I was like straightforward. I went for the kill.
So it's like for me, then it made me feel very safe to pursue the relationship.
Right. So he gave you the assurance first, then you're like, okay, maybe I go.
Yes,
I'll try.
That's right. So he told me he loves me first. So after that, I was like, let me contemplate this new information. And then, so that's very much our dynamic in the beginning.
That's cute, guys. That's
Yeah,
very cute.
but-
And we met on Coffee Meets Bagel,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, oh, I deleted the app and everything. So he's very like, there's no games.
Then you're like, okay, let me
I'm like,
delete it.
No. So
let me
it's-
think about that.
so
My
like,
premium account is
she
still
was
like,
she was my last date, but I was her first date.
Oh, Oh,
So that was
okay.
the beginning of her dating phase. That was the end of my dating phase.
Wow, you just nipped it in the
So,
bud, dude.
yeah,
Like,
and I
you
was
just
like-
went in there and like, I'm ending the dating phase now. Your
It's like,
experience is over.
After I met her, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna marry this girl.
Oh my
yeah.
God,
And I'm like, I'm
guys.
gonna marry this girl. But she was like, I still wanna like date
Like,
around.
see,
I mean,
yeah.
it's fair enough, right? Because she just started dating.
Yes.
I can't hold her down.
Yeah.
So
But you
like,
did.
I did. I
I
did.
can't hold on, but I did.
I did in a sense that I said, I told
In a
her,
good way.
Yeah, in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
So then my next question is, what are your perceptions of romance, for example? Because I think in a relationship, in a couple, right, it's kind of hard to always be on the same page. Like what I might think is romantic is not what my partner thinks
Yeah,
is
yeah,
romantic.
yeah,
And if we don't get on the same page of each other's love languages, for lack of a better word, then we may not feel like we are giving each other the romance or the affection.
Yeah.
So maybe we
definitely.
start with you. Tell us, what is your idea of romance?
So I've always known that I'm a very like I shy away from cliche and big romantic gestures.
Like 99 Roses.
Like those
no.
doesn't hit me. Like I feel very like, but
Cringe, ah.
I'm super into like daily romance. I remember one of my favorite quotes about love was I want a Tuesday kind of love.
Wait, is that from a song?
I don't know where. I think I was in my Tumblr phase or I don't know.
Did
what
you
was
put that in your
happening.
bio in Coffee Meets Bagel?
No. Okay, I don't think so.
I
mean,
think you did.
I
It
forgot
sounds so
already.
familiar now.
It sounds so cliche. No, but it's like I remember even on my dating app, they were like, "What's your idea of a perfect
Yeah.
Sunday or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, we're waking up and making pancakes, and then we go on a walk." Like the kind of daily
Okay.
thing. So that is my idea of romance. I find that like super romantic, daily stuff, not like
The
but
big
Yeah, I
gestures.
don't know what to do with flowers. Like they die, and then I'm like, what do I do with that now? Like so I
Yeah.
don't like these kind of things. And I think coincidentally, he's someone of a very like everyday romance kind of person as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So both of you have the same idea of what romance is.
Yes, but I think there was also much learning to be done.
Yeah, definitely.
because-
The learning
for
phase
sure.
was big. Yeah.
Oh, new
She's like,
information.
this brand new information
This is
to
brand new
me.
information for me.
Okay, so
learning phase
maybe
was-
you can tell us what is your idea.
When we first started dating, there was a lot that I needed to learn and change. There was a period or so that she actually broke up with me for 1 month.
Oh.
And it was actually during that period that I realized, actually, you know what? I've been a dick, and I needed to change for her. And yeah, I did a lot of like learning and like self development.
Introspection, yeah.
So I realized that because I love her, I need to accept things that are not right with me.
Yeah.
I need to change this aspect of myself. I need to change my laziness, my attitude towards the way I treat her, and like even like daily things like making coffee for her. Last time I'll be like making noise. I'll be like, can you just go do it yourself? Like
Oh.
yeah.
But
After
you
a
realize
while,
that is how she likes to be appreciated and shown love.
Correct. Yeah. So like things like bring her out for walks or like it sound like
Suddenly
a
I'm
dog.
like a
right?
dog.
So,
Bring me
sound like a
food.
dog,
Wait,
right?
who's
But
the
she-
golden retriever that
but she's very like after a while I started to learn and that she's actually very easy to please in terms of like she just likes
Fabian, I want to give you a shovel right now. He's
I like digging myself.
himself
Today will be the day I die.
No, but she loves this as a compliment for herself. Like
Yes.
she loves like just making her cup noodles and like making her coffee, simple things, and she finds that like that's her romantic
Yes.
like gesture that I can do for her.
I think there's something romantic about people knowing the small things that you like and then
Yes.
paying attention to that and
Yeah.
then giving that to you.
Yeah.
Like everyone can buy flowers, but it's like what are the very specific things he knows I like? This
Yeah.
specific brand of whatever, the way I like my coffee. These are like the romantic stuff that I feel.
Yeah, I'm actually a very hopeless in romantic kind of person.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's get to
Hopeless
that.
in romantic, different from hopeless romantic.
Hopeless
Hopeless
in
in
romance.
romance.
Hopeless. Yeah, I was very bad at like.
Was. So now you're
was.
better.
Yeah, I was definitely.
Wow, he took a course and that is our relationship.
Yeah,
Along the
exactly.
way,
course,
I
give
kind
it
of
to you
realized
for
that
free.
okay, so like I don't want to talk about my past relationships, but it was bad because I realized after meeting her that wait, I actually do need to change a lot. I need to grow up, So like when it came to her, I wanted to be serious. So things like she had this thing where she said that okay, when we date, every single week we have to go for at least a date night.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't let that die off. And we still carry that tradition 3 years later until today. So at the start, I'm like, why must we do that? Like, why you need a pre-plan? Just go out,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So like, I realized that she is someone who likes to pre-plan stuff, and then I have to lock it down, and then she likes that like that authority. She doesn't like that last minute. Let's just go. She finds that
Oh
unromantic.
my, I'm
Yeah.
the total opposite.
Oh, you like to go
I'm
with the
the go with the
flow.
flow.
Oh,
Me
like,
too, me too.
Hey,
yeah.
tonight you want to do this? Okay, then after that you want to do that?
Yeah,
Okay, like,
me too.
okay.
So do you date people who are exactly like you but somehow or totally opposite?
I mean, I am seeing somebody now. I would say he is very much like you. Like he's very like,
Yeah,
today
there are two
we're
type of
doing
people.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And they meet each other
Okay,
and
so
they
And
it's
I'm
the
like, today I'm doing 5, 2, 1, 4. Like,
yeah.
Somehow just opposite people just meet each other and date each
Yeah.
other. I don't know why.
I think it's the best.
It just happens. Yeah.
Are y'all like it's fun, right?
I mean, it's fun in a way. Sometimes he gets irritated because he's like, but I will give him credit because he also realized like, hey, we have to learn about each other's patterns
Right.
and like how we work, and certain things cannot entirely be changed.
Right.
You know, and you don't want to
Definitely.
also completely change your
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
It's
a way,
true,
right?
it's true.
Okay, so we get to you now. What is your idea of romance?
My
And
idea.
does she meet the requirements?
I'm actually a very easy guy, please. Like I love it when she takes interest in my interests. So for example, like
She's
the-
like anime Lord of the Rings.
yeah. So no, but I really, really love it. Like there are a few times where she's like, "Come, let's play video games." I'm like, "Wow, where did that come from?" So like, I'll whip out like my other PlayStation controller and we will be playing games. But then I get frustrated because she
Because I'm
sucks
bad
at
at
it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
I'm so
I
bad at
really
it too.
love it. I really love it. And then like spontaneous things where she like says, "Let's watch Game of Thrones all over again." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm down."
Oh my god,
I'm
you're speaking my
down.
language.
Yeah, there's 2 love languages that we like portray the strongest, right? Like for ours, it's time and touch. Both we have the same. But I read this somewhere that we have the hidden love language as well on the third, and mine is actually words of affirmation. I realized it.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, hers is
Acts of service.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it like when she like says things like just to boost my confidence and my
Yeah.
morale up. You know, it's like because I mean sometimes like life gets you down, but she's always there to like pick me back up.
Oh, yeah.
So I love these moments from her. It's like those simple things that just brings me back up. So yeah.
I feel like this whole podcast is a bit of a bonding session for 2 of you as well. I'm just like,
Therapy session.
yeah.
turns out Sonia is actually a third party.
Yeah, I'm just like a therapy. I'm just
Therapy.
listening.
That'll be $200.
Yeah. Actually, it's
Therapy
250.
session.
It's 250 girls. Okay. Anyway, so on that note, you know, since we're on a good roll there, I have some research that has been done and theories that you may or may not agree with. So let's read some of it out and discuss, okay? Now, the first one is men tend to fall in love faster, whereas women are more guarded. True or no?
I will
True
speak,
for us.
I will speak for myself. True.
Yes, true.
Yeah, true.
True. And for you think
Yeah,
you
definitely.
held back
True.
a little bit,
Yeah,
right? As
yeah,
you mentioned.
For sure, I had to chase her hard.
Yeah.
I chased her hard.
She needed convincing that she doesn't need to be on the app
She,
anymore.
she needed like 100 convincing
Every day it's like an
moments.
interview. What is your biggest strength? What is your biggest weakness?
Okay, the next one is men say I love you first, whereas women say I love you more often. And you mentioned this earlier that he said it
He
first.
did, yeah.
Yeah, hands down, I did.
But I wonder if I say it more often or somehow same. No?
Same. I too feel the same way. I mean, I don't think
Do
that
you?
Who said I love you first?
I'm not sure. Being very Capricorn, we might have timed it. I don't know. We might have been like, today you say, okay, no. No, but I accidentally introduced him as my boyfriend first.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally. So it wasn't a trap or anything, or was it? But he was like, "Oh, I just realized that you addressed me as like your boyfriend."
Right.
I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize that. You mean we're not exclusive?" I was like, "Wait, this is new information." So yeah, I honestly can't remember. It might have been around the same time.
Wow. I think like that was my most nerve-wracking moment to tell her that I love her.
Did you plan when exactly, or you felt like it was the right time?
This was after she broke up with me, and then I
Yeah.
said, "Do you want to go for supper 1 month later?" And then I went out for supper.
I
and
love you, by the way.
And yeah. Right.
way,
In case you don't know.
In case you don't know, in case I don't ever get to say this, in case you don't want to date me, I actually love you. Yeah, it's very cliche. I was like,
But then
it
I was
worked.
gonna respond. He's like, okay, just hold that thought because I need to pee.
Yeah.
And then he drove off and then he was like, see you tomorrow or something like that.
time.
I was like, you just flat. I think I only said it maybe a month plus later. Yeah, I know.
Girl, you held
Yeah.
him.
I know.
You
I was
put him
such
on
an
hold
asshole.
for a
Yeah,
month.
yeah. And within that month, I still like said I love you on this, but she would not reply that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I didn't give up. And then like I remember there was one time when I was sleeping, I think, and then she just said I love you. I'm like, what? What'd you say?
I was like, wake up.
Yeah.
I had to sit
Then she
down.
just
about
dropped-
it.
I thought about it for a month.
Okay, I'm caving
I
in.
decided
I
I'm
love
ready
you.
to
Yeah,
proclaim this.
So it took her 1 month to say it back.
That honestly could just sometimes be a personality difference,
Yeah,
or like
Maybe,
you know,
yeah,
the way
yeah.
that we process
Yeah,
things.
for sure.
Okay, the next one is how men fall in love have more to do with physical appearance,
Ooh.
whereas women access more factors like personality and similarities and so on.
Okay, I know this is going to sound like a very dick move, but I would say that physical appearance does
Does matter.
does matter for me. Like everyone has a type,
Yeah.
right? everyone has a physical type. Like I know my physical type, and I look for that in a woman. But there's also another thing called emotional type.
Yeah.
Like character-wise. So just because I meet the physical type does not mean that they are my type
It has
emotionally.
to align.
Yeah. And she aligned perfectly. So like when I look for someone, like
It's tough to be so
appearance
perfect.
wise, it matters for me. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Like for me, attraction in the beginning is definitely super important, and
Yeah.
that's very much physical, right?
Yes.
Like you see a person like, oh, does it give me butterflies or not? You know.
You know, actually, I feel like sometimes people always say, oh, it's about inner beauty. Don't be so superficial. But
Yeah.
I think, and this is not to sound like an ass or anything, but you do still need to be attracted to each other.
Right? Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
physical appearance is subjective, but all that matters is that you guys are into it, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that it has to be like perfect and someone who's super is my type, you know, immediately. But
Yeah.
they have to be someone who at least give you some form of attraction,
Yes.
you know.
Makes you feel excited.
Makes you feel
in
like,
some
okay, you know,
way.
let's explore it. So I think the initial attraction is always physical.
Yeah.
And then after that, you let the other aspects kind of like tune you out.
Personality, yeah.
You're like, hey, do I like this or not? Because there's no way if you're attracted to the person that you can still forgive, like, you know, things that are not your type in terms of the personality type.
Right. I do feel at the end of the day, like I still want to get to know you as a person, your character, whether we click emotionally,
Right.
whether we solve problems well together,
yeah,
you know, that kind of important stuff.
To take it another
Because I'm
level.
a serial relationship
Oh my God, me
relationship
too,
person.
yeah.
Like I'm like, okay guys, I'm gonna be single, boom. 2-year
Oh.
relationship, boom, 4-year relationship.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really serial monogamous.
I don't know why. I don't know
why.
why. I always set out to be single and then never happens.
Yeah, I think because people like us, we just like for me, I'm not good at being single.
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid to admit, I do feel like sometimes I need someone to experience life with. Okay, the next one is men tend to express affection through more physical means. For example, initiating intimacy or sex. Is that true?
Oh yeah. I definitely I remember the first kiss I ever gave her. Like it was just random. She was talking. I was just looking at her and just went in for the kiss.
Oh, okay. So I remember this is so funny because it was our second date.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And he was like, oh, my brother is proposing to his girlfriend. And then after that, we're having a small party, you know, at my place. So you want to come for the after party? And I said, where your parents will be at? And he was like, no, don't worry, you will not see my parents at all. They are upstairs, we'll be downstairs, you know, you'll not get to even interact with them. And I went there, and then not even 10 minutes in the house, he's like, yeah, my dad would like to speak to you.
No, okay, wait.
And then we spent 1.5 hours just talking to the parents. I was like, I did not expect to meet this
Oh,
guy's
gosh.
parents.
Oh, right. But
And I've
she
already
nailed
had
it.
some wine before that, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So at one point, I felt like I was floating out of my body watching myself answer questions. Like I was like,
trap.
how are you doing this? Like
Yeah.
seriously, it was just...
Oh, but she nailed it. She like nailed
Yeah,
it so
seriously.
good.
Oh.
And then he's like, okay, I need to kiss this girl to lock this down.
Obviously not in front of my parents.
That's
My parents
him.
are not
That's
there.
my story.
Yeah.
They're
That'll be
already gone
weird.
away.
But-
in my mind, I'm like trying to piece this scene together,
Yeah.
and your parents are in every scene. they're
my
like
God.
there.
They're like,
and they're like, "Are-"
we're still here, you know.
That's my boy.
yeah. Okay, the last one here. Women are better at remembering dates and events that mark important milestones of the relationship. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, 100%.
I actually disagree. I'm so
Actually, I'm
crap
so
at-
bad at it.
I'm so
You think
bad at it.
I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're worse than
No,
me.
it's because I feel like she's so organized.
Because you're also bad. So
I'm-
if
yeah.
she says, "Oh yeah, tomorrow's our anniversary," you're like,
You
"Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
even know.
it is."
You wouldn't know if I'm lying, right? You wouldn't even know, yeah. Just
Do you know, like,
make
even
stuff
for
up.
normal dates that she planned, she has to send a Google invite.
Oh my
Google
gosh.
Calendar invite.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we can remember it. So like she's so
My
organized
God.
that
That's
even
great.
anniversaries, birthdays, is all there.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
so-
live by my calendar, that's
Yeah.
why. Because it's just so packed, right? If it's not in my calendar, like it doesn't exist, like the agenda doesn't exist. So I
Yeah.
have everything has to be down, if not I'll forget.
So she reminds me everything. I can't remember like my own nephew's birthdays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she like just writes it all
She's
down.
the one that remembers it for
and she
you.
reminds me everything. Okay, this Saturday we have your nephew's birthday. We are going. I'm like, okay, let's go buy a gift. Like, yeah. So she locks everything down, and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Very complimentary.
Yeah.
I love that.
But like I said, it took a lot of learning at the start because I'm not used to it. I'm like a very free-spirited person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then in that case, between the two of you, since we already know who said I love you first and all that, who is the more logical one? It's gotta be her, right?
I'm more logical, yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So in your opinion, there's nothing wrong with being so logical in a relationship.
No, definitely. But I feel like somehow, in my experience, the logical people always find the dreamers. Because like the dreamers, right, sometimes they just dream so high up. And
Yeah.
then we pull them back to the ground with executional possibilities.
Yeah.
But for us, like for me as a logical person, sometimes I kind of think too small. Because I'm so logical, right? I want to know what is possible and I only think within that box. But sometimes he inspires me with like, oh, but we could do something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe not that, but something in between. And then we kind of get to that, So he helps me like dream a bit bigger. I would say yes. Like
So you
know,
meet in the middle somehow.
we meet in the middle. Like he inspires me and I think I help him, I ground him.
Yeah.
So it really, really helps.
So then why do you think people have the perception that men are perceived to be less romantic? Because I feel now it sounds more like a personality, character-driven, individual-driven thing.
I would say that actually it comes to like sometimes men we are just very lazy to plan a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah, especially romance. For me personally, I cringe at big romance moment.
Which is exactly like her. She
Yeah,
cringes as
but
well.
there are a lot of women out there that I know who like those
you know a
big
lot of women
moments.
or what?
Friends, family. I'm gonna put it out there. Friends, family. That's all.
Leave a comment now to prove that you exist.
I only know cousins and my sisters and my mom and my
So
mom's
they,
friends.
They like those big. They like flowers. She doesn't like flowers. She says flowers die. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, good point. Let's not buy flowers. Good for me. I don't have to waste money.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who like big romance moments. And as a guy that
It stresses you out
yeah,
sometimes.
I have friends who also complain to me like my wife's birthday or my girlfriend's birthday is coming. I do not know what to do. They're just clueless. We do not know what to do.
Yeah.
Like we do not know whether like this will please them or they'll be like, why waste money or like, that
This
kind
is
of
like a
stuff.
whole episode on its own. Like I feel like we need to document all his questions. and
So we
help a
really
bro out.
we really don't know like how this stuff works. And then our best friend is Google, obviously. So we're
Yeah.
like, okay, what do we do? And like Google's like, oh, like it's the generic stuff that we already did before, like staycation or fancy dinner.
Do you try ChatGPT yet or no?
Not yet. That's
Not
a good
yet.
idea.
I think
Okay, thank you,
getting a
Sonia.
romantic
Get it from my wife.
Yeah.
It's never all men or all
Yeah,
women.
yeah. I don't speak
right?
for all men.
So
I'm speaking
maybe
for
it's
my type.
like it's true that from my experience, maybe seeing friends around me, men maybe do seem like less maybe detail oriented.
Yeah.
When it comes to a relationship.
Right.
And with romance, you kind of need details, right? You kind of need to be about the details. You need to plan, you need to do this, you need to kind of take note of, oh, she said this, what does this mean, blah, blah, blah. Women are a little bit more like maybe intuitive with that, in terms of a gender thing. Of course, this is like total stereotype.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are women who are like you're not wired like that, or men who are not wired like that, super romantic.
I agree. And I also feel like, I'm not sure if it's because of media portrayal of, all these rom-coms or, this, the chase and then how they lock down the girl. And you watch so much of that growing up.
Yeah.
And as a teenager, you're like reading all this kind of stuff and watching to the point where you also craft or shape a certain idea
Right.
of how the courtship should be like.
Yeah.
Do you think that is a big, I don't know, a big
I would
contributing
say
factor?
it is a factor.
Is it like that in anime?
How's it portrayed
was-
in Lord of the Rings?
No, but I would say like
ring.
like the way they portray anime romance and like Korean drama and all this kind of stuff, it does factor in a lot of things. I think maybe
I mean, let's not even get started on Korean dramas. Like,
Yeah.
all of my friends are like, oh, it's this oppa or no one else. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, keep on dreaming, girl.
it's like
You
just
watch K-dramas?
no, I don't.
I don't also.
I
so I
don't
think that's
actually.
why,
Can you
yeah.
tell?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
really
it's
that.
like
I'm
this
super
dreamy moment where like the guy chases the girl and then the girl fights with the guy and then they don't talk, but then after that they start to it's just
Gravitate
all
towards-
over the
yeah.
place.
Like
And I
one
feel
kiss is like 20 seconds. Just
Yeah, I had to watch it on 1.5 speed. And I watched like there was some dramas that, okay, I watched just because of the hype.
Like,
and I had to watch it
yeah.
on 1.5, so I can't.
I
it's too
couldn't
long.
also,
Yeah.
But I would say it is a factor because okay, so we both like shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Mm-hmm.
The Office, Modern Family, all these kind of shows. She always compares me to Phil from Modern Family
Mm-hmm.
or Jim in The Office or like Friends, her favorite. Like
like we're very like there's few characters that say, oh, that's like our
Exactly.
dynamic, right? Like Chandler and Monica.
Yeah.
Like it's
yeah,
very much like he's
okay.
like, and then or like Amy and Jake Peralta,
Right.
where she's also like and then
I
he's
see.
so
So-
there's things like that.
Yeah, and I would say like when I watch these shows, I always told myself like, oh man, I want a relationship that's fun like this. Like we can tease each other, we can have fun doing stuff. And I don't know how it happened, but I think I manifested it.
You found it.
Yeah, I think I manifested it. But I really looked for it. It was a factor.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something fun. Imagine if I'm dating someone and we do not match in chemistry
Yeah.
and energy level. And then I'm just gonna be like,
then you know that's not it. Yeah.
So like I did have this goal when I was finding a partner, which is why when I dated her, like the moment I met her,
Yeah.
dude, she was so funny. She was like so hilarious. I never laughed so much in my
Oh my
on a date
gosh,
before.
girl.
I really
That is
never.
like the highest
yeah.
compliment if someone thinks you're funny.
Yeah.
I love that.
I thought I was funny because I'm always the one like trying to I always had to engage the conversation, but with her everything just flew like it was
Yeah.
flowing and like I was laughing non-stop.
And suddenly you're not the funniest guy in the
Yes,
room.
yes. I was like, dude, I think I met my match. So my friend was the bartender at that time. She went to the
Right.
toilet. I really met my match, and then I told him, watch me marry this girl on
Oh
the
my
first date.
God.
Yeah, my friend still remembers it.
Wow, this visualization technique,
Yeah,
you need to
I'm-
teach some of our
Yeah, the
viewers.
manifestation. It's just
I
like,
manifested it. I really
watching my
manifested
videos.
it. But I
Yeah.
would say that watching all these shows, it did like play a factor like in a partner that I
It's
wanted.
aspirational because
Yeah,
you look at it and
is.
you're like, oh my gosh, I really can relate.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that.
Correct. In a real sense, I'm not talking about the dreamy sense about K-drama and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
if that's your go-to,
Not
then
the
good
soap
for you.
dramas.
I mean,
Right.
look, on the flip
Yeah.
side, a lot of people watch K-dramas and a lot of these romantic shows. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
I admit I was hooked on Bridgerton and the actor that played King Charles, oh my God.
Also, that's your type. The season 2. Mine is season 1.
Yeah, I was like, girl, this is the kind of show I cannot watch with my partner or anyone. Like, I have to watch alone. It's like my me time.
So my relationship with the Duke. Just don't bother me for one
Don't bother
season.
me.
Like,
So
I am
would you
definitely-
say that when you were finding a partner, you were like finding someone similar to this
No,
character?
no, of course
No,
not.
no.
Also, Bridgerton came after I met him, so
Okay.
like, yeah, too late.
Yeah.
No, okay, I'm very much more logical and practical. So I wouldn't say I'm much of a dreamer when it comes to these things. Maybe when it comes to my life, I'm just a go with the flow person, but I don't
Right.
necessarily think that
So what do you find romantic?
I would definitely say acts of service. So when both of us started going out, my current partner, he and I were on the same page for certain things, but a little different on others. And he's so practical to the point where every year, and because our birthdays are one day apart, like, I know, so it's impossible to forget
Wow.
once again, yay.
Wow.
And it's right after Christmas, so it's just like back to
Wow.
back.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
it's
yeah.
too much. It's too much. But the way that he shows that he's romantic, he's like, oh, I have a list of items that I would like for my birthday. You can just pick from this list. And he's like, why don't you give me a list also or show me your list? But to me, I was like, that's so unromantic.
Oh,
like,
right.
then he's like, but I want to get you something that you want. Like, I'm like, okay, but how about this year you try something different? You think about what I want. Then I can see him stressed. He's like, oh my god, I don't know. He's
Okay,
like
I'm
thinking.
gonna back him up here.
Why? Okay, tell me.
Like I wanted to mention this earlier. Like we can't read minds, so I would rather you tell me what you want. Like okay, I'm going to like even for the engagement ring.
Yeah, okay.
like,
tell me how that
I
came
mean, okay,
about. How did that?
engagement ring, I want to say that's a separate thing because, like literally my Pinterest has been like talking about my engagement ring even since before I even started
yeah,
dating.
I knew it.
So it's different. I already
knew
know
what she
exactly what I
wanted.
want. No, but when it comes to actually presents,
Yeah.
Yes.
She does not like presents.
I'm a bit like your partner.
Oh, okay.
Like I want
Practical.
to be given exactly what I want.
Yeah.
If not, then give me an experience that is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
if it's gifts, I rather because I always feel so bad when I receive things that I cannot use or don't like. But when it's experiences, you will always get to experience it no matter what.
Okay, but my idea is, we love experiences too. But of course, we still want to exchange a gift during, a birthday, right? So my idea is we've already known each other for so long, you should kind of know like what I...
Or like I said something about it.
I
whatever,
never do
and
that.
Then, okay.
But it's just like knowing each other for so long. I'm sure that you know
Surprise
my
me.
beat, right? Yeah, exactly.
surprise
So
me,
what's your...
whatever.
But there's only so much that you can surprise someone until the idea runs dry.
Okay.
Yeah, like okay, say for example, you like jewelry.
Okay.
Okay, and your boyfriend buys you a necklace, and then next year he buys you a bracelet,
Right.
and then next year he buys you a ring,
Oh, you
and
think
then
that it's boring
and
after
then
a
next year he
while?
buys you a watch, and then sooner or later he's going to run out of body parts to cover you with jewelry, right? So it just runs dry in terms of like this kind of thing. So I'd rather you tell me, okay, what do you want? Like you want a Dyson hairdryer? What?
I don't know
Straight
how
to
it
the
would
point.
feel if I got a hair dryer for my birthday.
No, but I remember I had an ex-boyfriend and he wanted to surprise me with a gift.
Okay.
So he didn't want to ask me what I want. He said, I have bought something for you. It's a surprise, okay? And then I remember that his setup and his context was this. He said, I saw that you don't have this and you never wear it. And that's why I've gotten it for you. In my head,
you
it's like,
don't have this.
I don't have this and I don't
And
wear
you
it.
never-
Probably because I don't like it.
So what was it? Hold on, what was it? I need to know.
It was like jeans.
Oh,
Like
what?
Oh yeah, to be honest, I've
Denim
never seen
jeans.
her wear jeans. Yeah.
So I was like, you know, or like I have friends who like, the engagement ring was a surprise. So the guy was like, you always wear gold jewelry, so I thought we will switch it up with silver.
Oh my god.
Like, where? Why? How? What? It's like, they're like, it's like sometimes like me, because if they think by themselves, right, they might come to a totally wrong conclusion. So I better tell them, And if you're a gold girly, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything's gold, If you're a silver girly, everything has to be
Oh.
silver, You're like, it's like a,
Oh
you're
my
a gold,
god,
silver girl.
I'm a mixed.
Oh,
I
you're a
honestly
mixed.
wear
Oh.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
then it should be easy to buy you something lah.
Right,
Because
yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay. But
So,
hey,
yeah.
this should be a whole episode on its own, like how to pick an engagement ring. for
Man,
your-
it's so hard. We can't. Okay, so like men can't read mine again, ladies. Men can't read
You
mine.
think we can read minds or what?
No, but at least we tell you what we want.
I
Fair,
don't
fair,
disagree with him. I mean, my partner does tell me
Yeah.
exactly what, but I also try to think out of the box a bit. Like I try to be observant,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I realized like certain things that he might have said that he needed, but he didn't put it in his list.
Right.
Maybe he didn't realize or
Right.
like whatever. Then I'll just try and be more in tune with that.
Yeah.
So it's at least there's still a surprise element.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like life needs to be really interesting,
definitely,
right?
I agree also, yeah.
Okay.
No, because
He's like, oh, we agree to disagree.
No, because I suddenly remember this romantic thing I felt like he did for me, which was that, like I think it was like a random day, and he was like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything." And he's like, "How about you dress up and bring you somewhere secret?" Turns out he was like bringing me to this party like it's like a Taylor Swift party.
Oh.
So I was like, I love Taylor Swift. So
Yeah.
it's like these kind of things,
Yeah.
apply to gifts also. Like you saw like, oh, you have this bag and it's like falling apart and it's like looking like trash. Let me go get him something.
Yeah.
Then I forgot that I probably need this or whatever. So that's romantic.
Yeah.
also.
Exactly.
Surprise gifts, for sure.
So all in all, I think the key is just to be a bit more
Observant,
intuitive.
yeah,
Intuitive.
I think guys just like it direct. Like
Yeah.
when I bought her this ring, then
Yeah.
she told me, okay, what do you want for your engagement present? I'm like, get me a PS5. So she got me a PS5.
No, I was like, so, do you want engagement? He's like, this is the Carousel link of the PS5 that we can get tonight if you're down. He already did all the research for me. I was like, okay, fine, let's go.
I mean,
Yeah.
he uses it every day, I'm guessing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a display.
I'm kind of sad
piece
that I
for
won't be
him
able to
or
like
what,
play it
right?
anymore because I won't have the time anymore
Really?
when she's
you
out.
still can. You still
Maybe when
can.
she's older.
Yeah. So to summarize, I mean, we talked so much today. I really enjoyed our conversation. How important do you think is romance in a relationship?
I feel like romance comes so intuitively and easy in the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
And now I think back, like, it probably with the busy schedule and the comfort level that comes in the relationship and how often you guys spend together, like now we are like staying together and everything, it takes much more like maybe excitement and like kind of intention to bring romance into the relationship. If not,
Yes.
you kind of very easily fall.
So you're
Into a
saying that it
pattern.
has to be like a conscious effort and
yes.
decision.
Yeah. It's
Because
like
you sometimes
correct.
lose the spark
Yes.
or,
People always say honeymoon period, right?
Oh,
But I
yeah.
think you need to kind of keep that honeymoon period going.
Yeah.
You have to intentionally do it. That's why I remember when I was writing our marriage vows, one of
Yeah.
our vows is that I will not only fall in love, but I will work in love. Which for me is very important, which is like you have to work to intentionally, actually love someone.
Everyone take notes. Write that down.
Yeah, so it's very important for me to keep it, especially they always say that after a baby comes out, like right, you suddenly become like project mates, teammates, and then you may go on autopilot for a while because you are just so crazy,
Yeah.
So if there's no intention at the back of your head, like a to-do list that I have to love this
You still have to
person
make
this way, I have to
time.
be romantic this way, then you'll forget about it, or you kind of take it for granted.
Yeah.
So I think that is really like that's the important part for me, to keep being not even for just for men, like for women as well. Sometimes I also forget. Yeah.
So what are some of your tips then for our
Yeah,
listeners?
yeah, like what she said, I think love is driven. It cannot be stagnant.
Yeah.
You got to keep working because like I know like a lot of people who break up and they say like they don't feel the love anymore. They feel stagnant. It's not going anywhere. I don't think you actually fell out of love. Maybe you're just not working towards it anymore. Which is why I said that she always made it a point from the start that we have to have date night at least once a week. So it's driving the love. Even for us, it's also like finding things that like we have in comparison, like stuff like making content together. Like you don't even have to go out to have a romantic date.
Have fun, yeah.
You can have like a couple activity at home in the comfort. Just find something that both of y'all can do and like, just work towards it. Yeah.
So what I think he's trying to say is that keeping romance alive doesn't have to be high maintenance. It can be like everyday low maintenance stuff. Yeah.
Like buying coffee or like making cup noodles. That's what romance would grow into. It's not something big that we have to do all the time.
Yeah, sometimes it's like-
Because you
are-
become like desensitized also, right?
yeah.
In a way.
If it happens that way, then I'll feel like this love that I have is a job that I need to keep pleasing my partner. Right? Then
yeah.
it grows something into something very tiresome. That's what I was very afraid of. Because I don't like one-sided love. It has to be both ways where you can actually click in a small, uncomfortable environment. Right? I wouldn't say
But I love it.
uncomfortable.
I love it whenever he's like, "You want to go get coffee?" I'm like,
It's her love language.
She's like,
yeah.
heart eyes, heart eyes.
Yeah. So romance is like those moments where at the start, we work hard, the honeymoon period.
But to keep it going,
yeah,
you
you
also,
can't keep doing big things.
Yes.
You have to find romance in the small things.
it's
yeah.
a marathon, not a race, basically.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for an insightful episode and for sharing your love with our audience. It's very inspiring also to hear from a young couple like yourself. So please take care of yourself and come back and visit us when you pop, girl.
Definitely.
"For sure."
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for joining us today.
Do let us know if you have any thoughts in the comment section below.
And hit the like, share, and subscribe button.
See you next time. Bye.